The people that said that the only thing we need to fear is fear, I bet they really didn't understand Nigerian political environment or Nigerian political sycophancy. Today I'm talking about the ambassadorial compensation. The names of the recently released career and non-career diplomats, released by President Tinubu, came to a lot of people as surprise, but to so many people, it wasn't even a surprise because the list was already out before it came out. Because nobody today would they hear say the G5, you remember the G5 governors who they dance at Shwebi, they wear Shwebi and dance with Yes or Wiki and do photo hops. Nobody today will hear say they don't compensate them with ambassadorial posting. And then also INEC chairman, he did a good job. And they say, okay, yeah, now go and become an ambassador. And so everybody knows in Nigeria, political appointment is not for work but for compensation and chopping. You remember, even if you are appointed, the moment you are appointed and you are not a member of the party, now the party people go fair raise voice, say, no, come on, you can't do that. Remember when Shehu Onigbide was appointed as SA to the then Minister for State for Budget, Clement Agba. Now the APC supporters shouted foul. No. Why government will come begin to compensate our critic? People when no work, you won't begin to give them food. No, now. Even the current Minister for Communications, Innovation and Digital Economy, Bosu Tijani, had to apologize on his floor of the Senate for his tweets and criticism of President Tinubu during the campaign before he was allowed to come on board. And the list is endless. So that's why today some people believe that the best way into government is to criticize the government until they are called to join to the table. I no call anybody name. If you like, say Boa or Okri, I no call people name. But that so many names like that, they share. And that almost everybody in government today was once a critic of previous government until they are appointed and they do the same thing they once criticized, only to return to criticism once they are out of government or once they are not compensated. So my challenge really is that the president didn't need to wait this long before creating this ambassadorial food for the boys. Because even now, we see that some who swore that they will never work with the president are now sniffing his shit and mess like it goat. Even we have some arrogant diplomats once again on the list. Anyway, nobody they bankroll me, so I don't have to mention names, really. But the challenge here for me is on a more serious note, is that now that we are at a crossroad and we need names or we need people who should actually speak for us at the worst stage, is now that we are having names of people who ordinarily should be investigated or who should be standing trial or who should be visiting the FCC or even some who should be in jail, be cloaked with diplomatic positions and His Excellency and ambassador. Anyway, Nigeria, the more you try to understand and the more you get headache. But however, since we operate a hereditary system of government where parents who are in government automatically create chances for their children to also get into government, like we are seeing the appointment of daughters and wives, shouldn't everybody just leave whatever they are doing and then just hustle to be in government? Because that's almost the case now. But however, I want to advocate that the more government continues to use political offices as compensation for sycophancy without accountability, the more the country will continue to breed laziness and corruption, where people will do any and everything just to get into governments as a way of making money. That's why we are complaining that there is criminality everywhere. There's yahoo, there's fraud, there's kidnapping, because we compensate criminality. But however, no matter what we say, there are still some Nigerians in this country who would rather be a free soul in jail than be a sycophant and a coward on the streets. See you next week.